Alright, so Edge of Tomorrow, another film I decided to hold off and watch. As I said before, I'm not a fan of aliens or space films generally.
I need you to give me a more definitive reason why, after your best friend tells you you need to watch this film, you decided, no, I don't think I need to watch it. Edge of Tomorrow is an awesome film. I tried to tell you it's awesome. Yeah, I guess describe it to you as Groundhog's Day with aliens didn't help my case.
Saving Private Ryan meets War of the Worlds meets Groundhog's Day.
I feel like, remember, because this film did not do well in its release, and I feel like it's slowly becoming a cult classic. But also the fact that it has two different titles apparently is not helping it.
Let's first discuss actors.
Okay, now by having Tom Cruise in any film, it's like casting Mel Gibson in a film. You know, you don't know, are people gonna be happy about it? Are they gonna immediately never see this film because they hate this actor? But here's the thing.
And he jumped on the couch.
Well, yeah, but even though Tom Cruise is probably batshit crazy and really an unlikable person, he was great in this film, and here's why. He decided not to start off as an awesome character. That's why I don't like a lot of the Mission Impossible films, because he's already supposed to be this awesome, perfect guy.
I'm not picking on Tom Cruise for that. That's any action. That's any...
Yeah, but most roles he ever takes, he's playing...
Valkyrie. What was he in Valkyrie?
He was playing a historical character, so you can't get mad at the character, you know. But, what I really liked about Edge of Tomorrow was that he was playing a coward. He was playing an unlikable person, and they cast an unlikable person to play an unlikable person. So that's what started off so cool, because you didn't you're like, oh, I get to see him die 300 times. Fuck yeah! But then through each death, his character goes through development. He goes through this growth, and now all of a sudden he's someone that you actually care about, even though you know that he was a shitty guy. He still might be deep down a shitty guy, but you now accept him and you love him.
No, I think over the 800, I think is what you said.
I don't know. A lot of people have been doing different...
Let's say it was probably 800. I'm sure it was several years.
Yeah.
So let's say several years, he probably tightened up. Now, of course, it's easy to become strong when you know every second of everything. But I think Tom Cruise... First, I'm going to say it, I think Tom Cruise still looks good. I don't care what anyone
says. He looks good.
Tom Cruise.
He still looks good. We all agree, yeah.
Still. He's
Peter Pan. He's Peter Pan. We all know that.
And I like Tom Cruise as an actor. I think Magnolia really did me in for him as an actor. And I think he's incredibly... He's not even typecast. And I think he's one of those ones that, he never dies in a movie.
I do feel like... I think he does spearhead action films. He does them well. Like, Minority Report is great. I personally would like to see him do more roles like in Tropic Thunder. These goofy comedic roles. It's just... you say he doesn't get typecast. Yeah, he does. He's always the main character in some action genre. He's always the main character in some action genre film. That
Jack Reacher was good?
No, Elena said it was just a film where he kept saying, "Hey, I'm
Jack
Reacher." Jack Reacher was basically, I want to be John Wick.
It was, yeah.
Like, they even named it Jack Reacher, John Wick. This predates John Wick, of course, but it's...
okay, regardless. Then we have... the always awesome. A man who I don't think I've ever disliked in any role.
Bill Paxton?
Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I even tried to sell you on this one. I said, Bill Paxton plays drill sergeant. You go, well, he played a drill sergeant in... What was the film you were talking about? He plays a drill sergeant somewhere else, he said.
Aliens?
Oh, and I said he wasn't a drill sergeant. He said, game over, man. I was like, if his character
and he emphasized that line.
I know, but if his character was in this film, they would have thrown his ass on that beach, and they would have murdered him.
Bill Paxton's always fantastic, no matter what he does.
He was my favorite.
If we ever get to discuss underrated actors, I think Bill Paxton.
Battles, The Fiery Crucible. Like, his character was so much fun.
My fear for Edge of Tomorrow is I think too much during movies. I probably shouldn't, but I think way too much during films, and I thought that during this film I'd be going, no, this wouldn't happen, no. And I did think to myself, halfway through I was going, I would be so annoyed if I had to wake up every morning and listen to that drill sergeant walk up.
Yep.
And then
Fire is the cry of a crucible. All men are judged.
And then he finally just started saying the sentences for him just to get it over with, moving on. One thing, Emily Blunt was fantastic.
She was amazing.
She's a very hot man. If she ever decides to play a male role, better than Meryl Streep did.
Yeah. Or Glenn Close.
Or Glenn Close. Glenn Close was just Conan O'Brien in that one movie that I don't remember what it was called. But
it was an Oscar bait movie.
Whatever, yeah. I'm going to go on record and say I have not seen, unless Edge of Tomorrow was nominated for something, I have not seen one film this year that was nominated for the Oscars. I have not seen one.
Well, let's keep talking about Edge of Tomorrow. We can get on that in a minute.
Edge of Tomorrow is fantastic. I will say I was very pleasantly surprised. I thought that...
What was really good about it was the first few deaths were handled very well. It took a while for the deaths to happen. And then his first 3 to 4 experiences when he realized, like, I'm reliving the days and he's trying to tell people, those were handled so well. The big plot point in the film is when he starts realizing that this is going to keep happening, and he keeps reliving the days, and now all of a sudden he's a badass. And his only idea is, I've got to find someone who can save me because he's still a coward. So he goes for the only other badass that's known at the time, Rita Vitowski, who's, the full iron bitch, or, whatever it was, full metal bitch. And then that scene happens where he is a badass and clearly shows her that he has all these superpowers, and then you said you had chills when she looked at him and she said,
"Find me when you wake up."
Find me when you wake up, because that was the first time he realized that, wait a second, this isn't just me. And that's where this film,
and I'll say they played it very well. The whole idea you could lose it with a blood I thought it was very strong.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Groundhog's Day if he found out someone else had been living the same day. Like, it completely swapped the film, because everyone kept going into this saying, oh, it's Groundhog's Day, it's Groundhog's Day. No, other people once had this power, and they described the power, but they didn't fully describe the power, because it was like, well, it's alien, and we don't know how it works, so that way fanboys can't dissect it and say, well, this is wrong, they couldn't have done this, you couldn't have done that, because they left it so ambiguous.
I'm not a fanboy, but I thought...
Well, because they left it so ambiguous, they left it to where you couldn't get technically upset about it, because they just explained that the aliens can lose the power to a human, and then the human resets the day instead of the aliens resetting the day, because then everyone was saying, well, wait, do the aliens still remember? It was like, well, no, I think only the Omega remembers, or who knows? Like, we still don't know, and here's the thing, we don't have to know because it wasn't explained.
Yes, that was my problem.
But it wasn't fully explained, so that's why we don't have to get mad about it.
If the alphas have the same power, and they can reset every day.
I think there's only one alpha that has the power, and it's acting as the Omega's extension, because the Omega...
No, I thought that long to kill alpha.
But I think there's only one alpha at a time. I think that's what it's meant to be, because I think technically now Tom Cruise is the alpha, and now there's a new alpha that wants to get the power back. So there's a new alpha that's going to die. So if this new alpha can just get him to die or get him to bleed out. I mean, not die.
No, I didn't think that. Because I thought...
I think the Omega is the only thing that experiences a day over, but the Omega...
My thing is this. If you kill an alpha and the blood lands on you, you get the power. So what happens if 2 folks get the power?
I think it's whoever gets it first. Because only one person gets to reset the day. The Omega used to reset the day, but then the Omega has the alphas reset the day, and if an alpha dies, the Omega would reset the day.
No, that doesn't make sense, because it's...
An alpha can die without passing on the blood.
No, there's no way. Remember when they trapped him in that corridor? And they tried to kill him? There's no way the alpha wouldn't have known. The alpha had to have known it was him.
No, the alpha, they set him up by giving him visions of the dam, because they were trying to trap him to go there. That's why, the only reason they're on Verdun is because they tricked Rita to come to Verdun, because they wanted to steal the powers from her, and that's how they got the powers.
Oh, they broke her back or something. So
she bled out. So the alpha wasn't at Verdun, it just gave her visions of Verdun, so then the alpha gave... No, not the alpha, but the Omega, I'm sorry, I always get those two backwards, but the Omega gave... Tom Cruise, and the Omega is reliving the same day, and the Omega is trying to find who has the power. So the Omega then starts.
Well, the Omega's not living in
the Omega.
the Omega's living.
The giant thing
with
starts.
the Alpha.
Yeah, this giant thing starts giving him visions of where it's at, but secretly there's an Alpha there ready to get the power back. That's why. Remember, throughout the whole film, you never saw an Alpha again up until he went to that dam and he saw a regular Mimic, and the Mimic backed off, and he turned around, and then he saw an Alpha, and he goes, "Whoa! Like this is the only other time he's ever seen an Alpha." And then when he
drowned himself, though.
Well, no, yeah, because he tried to shoot himself in the head, and the Alpha pushed the gun back and made him shoot himself in the shoulder because they wanted him to bleed out. Because if he bled out, they get the power back. See, the Omega wants the power back. I think the creatures.
How did he drown himself though? He climbed.
They're in a dam. They're in a dam. He dropped down, and there was like a small little opening about not even a foot tall, and he crawled underneath that, and then there was water there, and he just put his face down in the water, and he drowned himself. So he drowned himself because he realized that they were trying to capture him and let him bleed to death. He realized it was a trap. They were going to trap him. So they gave us enough. They gave us enough details to not know how it works, but they gave us just enough to where we could still be invested in the film and not get upset. You know, like it was great. And I think Emily Blunt delivers all the lines that give you chills. The first one was when she said, "Find me when you wake up."
Oh man.
The other time that she gave me chills was when he kept catering to her at the garage, and she said, "How many times have we done this? How many times have we been here?" And you realize that Tom Cruise's character, he's very sad because he doesn't believe they can win. Or he believes he can win, but then he realizes that the only way to win is to lose the woman he's now in love with.
Right, and he said,
so he refuses
no matter
to
what
go
I do,
on.
I can't save you.
Yeah, so he refuses to go on, so he's choosing to keep reliving the same day and experience this same sweet moment with her where he takes care of her. Like, he already knew she was injured in the shoulder, and he takes care of her, and every now and then she opens up to him. Maybe they hook up. We don't know. Maybe he's just trying to finally get in those pants. Maybe he's just like, damn it, she's still holding out. But
one of my problems with that whole scenario is there was that one time he snuck off.
Well, that was the point, because he said
that's when
I wish I didn't know you
under the dam, right?
Yeah, and he said because she said, "What's wrong?" He goes, "Well, I wish I didn't know you because I could probably kill the Omega, but I can't kill the Omega and keep you alive." Yeah. So then he decided when he walked up to her, and she goes, "What are you looking at? Something on my face?" And he goes, "Sorry to bother you." And he walked off, and he did it by himself. Got there, and then realized it was a trap. And then he drowned himself, and that's when he knew.
Man, well-written movie.
I mean, it was amazing. It was so well acted. Tom Cruise was awesome. Emily Blunt was awesome. The General. What was the General? What was the actor's name again? You know.
Bill Paxton.
No. The General.
Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah,
I love.
He
Brendan
was
Gleeson.
awesome. He was such a dick. I love that. No matter how many times we have this conversation with you, you never open the fucking safe. And then he just goes, "Okay, we need an Alpha to do this." There you go.
Brendan Gleeson is by far one of my favorite actors, and but what sucks though is that even when he did it, he still turned him right in. He gave him the part they wanted just to get him out of his office, and then turned him right in.
Now, once he lost the powers, I really felt weird in the film. Like, because I was loving the film so much, and I didn't want that film to end. Like, I wanted that roller coaster ride to keep going.
And she wanted to try and kill him.
Oh yeah, that was scary because I almost thought, what if she would just killed him right then? Fuck, what if that was the ending of the film? That would have been terrible. I mean, this would have been a great TV show, just keep it going. But I didn't want it to end. And then the second I knew the power was gone, like my heart sank. And it was weird because now I'm so invested in a film because I'm enjoying the story, I'm enjoying the plot points, and now I don't like this new swerve because now I realize, fuck, they have to do it now. And, if you've seen a guy die 400, 500 times, I'm pretty sure he's going to die the second he walks out the door. A car's going to hit him or something, So it just became like, fuck.
Well, they do that in every movie. That's the same thing they do.
It's like in the Dark Knight Rises. Make the climb without the rope. Oh, now you can fucking climb it without the rope. Now you can defeat the Omega without the power. Bullshit. But I was really confused about what happens once he beats the Omega because he just wakes up and now instead of reliving the day he's been reliving, he actually wakes up a few hours before that.
Right, where he's
So, what day do you now get to... You get to relive the last 48 hours now? Who knows? And then...
no, but he walks in the same moment where we all.
remember, he hasn't been tossed on the base anymore. So now he's still a corporal and the war is over, so that general never railroaded him. So that general didn't railroad him for, I don't know why that general did that anyways, but so now he chooses to go back to the base and he walks up to her and then, I'm sure they end up getting together. I'm sure he tells her everything. Or maybe he makes out with her. Or maybe she tosses him into one of those rotating blades, because who's this guy trying to make out with me? And then he dies. And
first off, that's the most unsafe workout. I understand you doing push-ups and stuff.
I can't believe she was doing that without the power. I can't believe she was doing that without the power. I think she was trying to meditate and trying to hope that she could tap back into that power.
It was weird.
We all got to admit that. Oh my God, she was so hot when she just does that. She's doing that workout like yoga, and she's like doing handstands, but her feet are hanging out, and she's got abs and arms. Like she was so hot in that film. And I don't know anything else she's ever been in, but I know she's in a lot of movies and films, and it's just wow. She was hot. Everyone agreed she was so hot in that film.
It was a very Miley Cyrus thing going on.
But Edge of Tomorrow was great. If you had to, she usually has black hair. That's why I couldn't recognize Emily Blunt.
Looper.
Oh, she was in Devil Wears Prada. She was that annoying redhead, the other secretary. Well, I think this is the best film she's ever been in. Steven, if you had to rate it on a first of all, 1 through 5 is not a good system. What about 1 through 10, 1 through 8, or
I'll give it a 7.
1 through 10 is 7? I'd give it an 8 and a half of a half. It was good. I loved it.
Alright, this is our movie and review. We'll have many more for you.
And we spoil everything, so don't even worry.
Yeah, I'm very into this. Spoiler. It's, signing off. Everything BS.